We've been together for 5 years. 5 long, complicated, intertwined years. And somewhere along the way, we both turned into people we barely recognized. A year and a half ago, I discovered something I never expected. My girlfriend had been secretly forming a deep emotional bond with a man she worked with. The same man she once brushed off with a casual, "Don't worry, he's nobody." But he clearly wasn't nobody. At that point in my life, I had already given up so much for us. 3 years ago, I walked away from a well-paying sales job because I believed that going back to university to get an engineering degree would secure our future. My parents offered me a place to stay, but she wasn't welcome there because of strict religious rules in my family. She had nowhere to go, and I refused to leave her alone. So I declined my parents' offer, packed up my life, and chose us instead. To cover our expenses, I sold the entire crypto portfolio I'd been building for years, something that today would easily be worth 6 figures. I studied full-time, worked part-time, and carried most of the financial weight, especially when her health forced her to stop working for months. So when I found out about her emotional affair, something inside me shut off. I wasn't angry in the loud, explosive way people imagine. Instead, it was a cold, heavy numbness, the kind that makes you rethink every choice you ever made. I didn't yell, I didn't argue, but I also didn't heal. Instead of walking away, I stayed, partly out of habit, partly out of fear, and partly because I wanted her to feel the same pain she put me through. I told myself it was justice. I told her she deserved to know what betrayal feels like. But in truth, I was drowning in my own bitterness. While pretending to work on our relationship, I began meeting other women. I told myself I was just venting my anger, reclaiming control, trying to forget what she had done. But really, I was spiraling, and I didn't want to admit it. I eventually confessed to being with 2 women, using her emotional affair as a shield to justify everything. Months later, I was unfaithful again, and that time she discovered it herself. She was exhausted, heartbroken, ready to walk away. And instead of letting her go, instead of being honest, I panicked. I fed her every promise she desperately wanted to believe in: marriage, stability, a future, a family of her own. Things she never had growing up. The truth is, I'm now close to finishing my degree, and she thinks that once I get my first salary, I'm going to buy her an engagement ring. She believes we're rebuilding. She believes there's light at the end of this tunnel. But emotionally, I'm not there anymore. I'm talking to someone from university, someone who has nothing to do with our past, someone who feels like a clean slate. And I'm stuck between 2 versions of myself. The man who once sacrificed everything for love, and the man who now doesn't know how to walk away without causing even more damage. When we first started dating, she knew I had ended my previous relationship because of infidelity. She knew betrayal was my breaking point, and then she crossed that line anyway. I'm not proud of what followed. I'm not proud of who I became. But betrayal changes people. Sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once.